Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the lesson 1's challenge and extension question. 欢迎大家来看我们这一次的一个复习视频和我们的拓展题。About this lesson, all the changes, all the thing we have learned in this lesson is talking about how to use the volume, how to use the surface area of the cube and cuboid. It's just based on the normal formula. 它就是基于最基本的体积公式和面积公式。So what is a volume? Volume for the cuboid, we just have the length times width, and then multiply by the height. So this is a cuboid, and for the cube, it's quite easy. We just got an h length time itself for 3 times. So this is volume. And for the surface area, this part didn't appear frequently in our lesson, but it appears a lot in the extension part. 在我们拓展题面积部分，其实出现的还是蛮多的。So for today, we just check for these extension questions. If you still have any confusion in the assignment, please private message me. I will help you solve it one by one. 如果大家作业部分还有疑问的话呢，可以私聊我，我可以私下帮大家逐个解决。And then it's time to start the extension part. Let's see for the first one. For the first one, it's just quite simple. It says that worker used the thin wooden board to nail a rectangular print mail packaging box and reinforce it in 3 directions by nylon braided straps. 我们用尼龙绳把这个盒子打包起来。And it just already told us what are the lengths for the 3 straps. For this one here, it is 365 centimeters. And may I know, is this part made of which 4 parts? We will got this kind of part is what? This is the height. We just use the h to represent it. The height, 2 times the height. And then what is this? This is exactly the width of this box. The 2 height plus 2 width, it equals what? It equals 365 centimeter. Am I correct? Is it correct? Usually, when you ask, I am asking this question. Usually, 一般情况下，如果你发现我问这个问题，都会表示 it usually represent I am incorrect. I didn't got it correct here. 一般情况下都表示我写的有问题。So here we have a 365. But they say the joint overlapped by 5 centimeters when each nylon braid is reinforced. 我们在每次加固的时候都会有5厘米的重叠。How to understand it? For example, this is a kind of tape. And if this, we just put this 2 sides of this tape like this directly. No overlap part. 如果我们没有重叠，直接拼到一起，它可能粘上吗？ Is it okay to be fixed? It's not okay. So usually we will make sure one side is longer than other side, and then this part will stick together. 我们一般会保证一端长于另一端，这样有重叠的部分就可以固定在一起了。And then, so the 365 is the length of this nylon, but it's not the sum of 2 height and 2 width. We need to subtract by 5, and it equals 360 centimeters. So that is the first thing we got. And for the other two things, they're the same. For example, the 405, what is it? It is made of the length and height. 2 length plus 2 height, it is what? It is 405 minus 5 equals 400 centimeters. And then we have the horizontal one 横向的这再来一条。This is 485 and it's made of 2 lengths and 2 widths. Equals 485 minus 5 equals 480 centimeters. This is what we got here. And we don't want the 2, so we can just divide both sides by 2. We just got an h plus w, which is height, plus a width. It will just equals 180 centimeters. Length plus the height equals 200 centimeters. And length plus width equals 240 centimeters. And then we add together. We add all the 3 together. We can just get an equation like 2L, 2 times the L, length, plus 2H, 2 times the height, plus 2 width, 2 times width. It equals 180 plus 300 plus 240. It equals 620 centimeters. And L plus H plus W equals L plus H plus W. It equals 310 centimeters. And then what we can do? 我们还能做什么? We know the sum of each 2. And we know the sum of all of them, so that we use the 310 to minus 180, minus 20, and minus 240. We can just know the length of each of them. For example, like h plus w equals 180. H plus w plus L equals 310. So L equals what? L equals 130. L equals 130 centimeters. And h just equals the 70 centimeters. And for the width just equals, the width here just equals 110 centimeter. And they're asking us what will be the volume. We just use the 3 multiplied together. 130 times 70 times 110. This 2, 7, 11, and 13. The product of these 3 numbers is a quite even number. It just equals 1001. It's frequently tested in the number theory part in other places. So once we have already learned that, please try to keep that in mind. 我们的7乘13乘1啊，是个非常非常经典的，经常在数论部分考到的东西。所以对于这3个数，以及对于这1001，我们可以再去放在心里，尝试去记住它一下。And we still have 30, so this will be 1001, and we still have 30 behind it, cube centimeters. But it's asking us in cube meters. So if we want to change from a centimeter to a meter, we need to divide by 100. But from cube centimeter to cube meter, we need to divide by 100 for 3 times. So here it will get our answer as 1.001 cube meters. The cube meter. So this is how we get it. Just pay attention to this very important information, and we just got what we can just got what we want. That is the first one. And now it's time to move on, and let's see the next one. The next one says that Eddie has a square piece of paper with a side length of 20 centimeters. He planned to wrap his rectangular stationery box with it and find out the paper can just wrap around the side of the box. Is it known that the bottom of the stationery box is a square? What will be the volume? What is the volume of a stationery box in cubic centimeters? 我们现在有一张正方形纸片。 we just find out it can just wrap around the side of the box. So here, it say that for the stationary box, it's a cuboid. But for this two cuboid, the bottom part and upper part are the square. So we can just draw this kind of thing. And it tells us if we use this paper, this square pieces of paper, it can just wrap around the side of the box. Means this side, and the side on the bottom, set in the back and set on the left side. 前右后左这四个面加在一起，正好是一个正方形。What can we get? So if we just expand this box, 如果我们把这个图给展开呢 ，the side here is just a square. 它的侧面就是一个正方形。And this part is what? This part is a perimeter of the square in the bottom and in the top. 我们这条边的长度是什么？它是我们整个底面的周长。And this bottom part is a square. So what is the side length of the square? The side length of the square is just 1/5 of it. 1/4 of it. So 1/4 times 20 equals 5. And then we just find out, the side length is 5. And what is the height here? This height is just 20. So if we want to find out the stationary's volume, 如果要求我们这个铅笔盒、文具盒的体积，我们就用这里的5乘以5乘20得到。为什么这个正方形的边长是5呢？那是因为我们会发现展开之后，它的侧面是一个正方形。这侧面是正方形，说明我们上面这条边在原本的图形当中是由底面的这4条边组成。这4条相等的边加在一起是20，那说明每一条边也就是5。那我们也就知道这是5，这是5，这是20，那也就知道体积了。So for the volume, it's become the 500 cubic centimeters. Okay, let's move to the next one. The next one is a quite simple one. It looks a little bit similar to the box inside another box. 它这个题目和我们在之前课上讲的那个盒子套盒子的题有点像。So in the beginning, it say it's a 6x5 rectangle. 它这是一个6×5的长方形的框架，是框架。So that the part in the middle has gone. The part in the middle has gone. And now, ask how many cubes do we need to make it? 我们需要用到多少个小正方体 It's okay to count it one by one. We just got a 6 plus 6 and plus 3 plus 3. It becomes 18. But from the next one, we can just try to find some pattern here. It say, 在下面这个问题，我们要去研究这个空洞的大小。研究空洞的大小，也就需要什么？也就需要我们去给它去判断，去找一下规律。So for the size in the whole, what will be its length? In the beginning, for the frame here, for the skeleton here, 对于这个框架而言，我们原本的边长是6。The side of this rectangle in the beginning is 6. But for the empty part, for the whole, the length will decrease by 2. And for the width, it's also decreased by 2. So 6 minus 2 is 4. 5 minus 2 becomes 3. And that will be the size of the hole. So for this, it also gives us a kind of method. To find out how many cubes do we need, we just need to find out if we want to check the entire rectangle cuboid. 如果我们在一个完整的长方体当中，它的体积是多少 ？And then we just subtract the cuboid in the middle. So here we will just got a 6 times 5 times a 1. 6 times 5. Just use the 6 times 5. And then what? Minus 4 times the 3. 我们只需要用原本完整的减去中间空洞部分，我们就能够知道剩下还需要几个。Is that 30 minus 12 is also equals 18. So that provide a method. So now it asking. 那我们就了解这个方法了。我们就用大的完整的长方形减去中间的长方形。And then it provides us, if we got another two kind of rectangle, 如果我们有剩下两个不同形状的长方形框架，那我们需要多少个这样的小正方体呢？ So here, 10 by 7. If we consider it as a complete rectangle, 如果我们把它看作一个完整的长方形 what will the size is a 10 and 7. So there are 10 times 7, 70. There are 70 small cubes here. But we need to erase the part in the middle. 我们要从中间去掉多余的部分，去掉空洞的部分。10 divided by 2 is 8. 7 divided by 2 is 5. So it becomes 70 minus 40 and equals 30. 我们用这种方式可以发现，这个框它的一个体积应该是30。And then for next one, 20 by 22. It's the same. 20 times 22 minus what? Minus. For each part we just decrease it by 2. 对于我们每条边都减少2嘛。Become 18 times 20. We don't need to know each product because we find out in each of them we got 20 here. 我们并不需要算出来每一个的乘积，但是我们会发现都有个20。那我们把20提出来 we pick the 20 out. 20 times what? 22 minus 18. 我们把20提出来就变成20乘以括号22减18。And then 22 minus 18 is 4. 4乘20也就是80。So that is what we got. 这个就是我们的结果。And that is extension 3. For extension 3, I thought it will be more than one part. We can still have a look together. The next part, in the previous one, it gave us it's just a one layer. 我们刚刚在前面的题目当中给的形状是一层，仅有一层高度不用考虑的一个长方体的框架或长方形框架。But this one, it just give a box. To give a box and asking us how many cubes do we need, what we need, the first thing is to find out. The method is quite similar. We just use the largest one to minus any empty part. The largest one's volume is 6 times 5 times 10, which we got is 300. 我们这完整的长方体在没有挖去任何洞之前是300立方厘米。And then we just check for the empty part. Is the empty part a cuboid? Is the empty part a cuboid? Here, we just got cuboid here. And then for each side of this cuboid, we just decrease the side by 2. 我们对于每个边都给它减2。 4, 3, and 8. Is this the part in the middle? No, of course not. Because for the 3, 4, 8, this rectangle, 对于这个3、4、8的长方体，它其实是哪个部分呢？ Actually, it's just a part hidden in the side, hidden in the middle. 它只是我们中间这个部分。It's just a middle, it's just a volume of the cuboid in the middle. 它只是中间这一个长方体的体积。But we didn't consider the volume of the hole in each face. 我们每个面上还有个洞，所以这个每个面上的洞我们也需要考虑一下。And then that is all what we got here. This is the first part, the main part. 3 times 4 times 8. And then for this part here, what is it? It becomes 4 times 3 times 1. But in the front we have it, in the back we also have it. So we just multiply by 2 again. And next one is 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is a face on the right side, which is a face I'm just erasing. It just got this part. This part is 8 times 3. And we multiply by 2 again because on the right side we got it, on the left side we also got it. 我们在这儿是8乘3，但是右边有一个，左边也有一个。那还有上面和下面呢 we still have the top and bottom. So for this part here, this what? It is 8 times 4. And we have 2 of them with times by 2. So this is a part we have. This is part we just erase. 下面这一部分是我们去掉的部分，上面的这一部分是我们原本的部分。We use a 300 to minus the part below. We can just get an answer. And the part below equals 232. 下面这一部分也就是中间所有孔洞，这所有孔洞包含正中间的一个正方体以及6个面上挖掉的部分。Is 232, and we just use 300 and minus 232, and the answer is just 68. So that is what we got here. 这个就是我们所有的部分了。And let's check the next one. For this one, it's quite easy. I found every one of you just got it correct. 对于这道题，我相信大家在上堂课的时候玩得很开心，然后每个同学除了画的不认真的同学啊，做的都很好 ，except some of you who just didn't get a very good drawing. Other student, almost every student just got a full mark on this question. 那我们就一起来画一下嘛。So we just cut into different layers. For the first layer, 第一层 we only got 4 square here. And then for the second one, for the second layer, we have 2 vertical, which means this and this has been erased. And we also have 2 horizontal hole. 我们有2个竖洞，2个横洞，说明这2行2列都被擦掉了。And we just draw it in the second picture. And then for next one. For next one here, from the bottom and from the top and from the right side, we cannot see any hole. But in the front face, these 2 holes will also influence the third layer. 我们正面这4个洞依然会影响我们后面的每个面，所以第3个面也是一样。And for the fourth one, it's similar as the second one. And for the last one, it's similar as the first one and third one. So in total, the volume is 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. And we need to subtract how many cubes, how many small cubes are missed. 我们得数数看一共有多少个消失了，4个4个。And 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 minus 16 times 2. It equals 125 minus 12 minus 32 equals 125 minus 44. 125 minus 44 just equals 81. So the answer of this question is just 81. 我们这里用125减去从前面每一层数出来缺了几个，那最后得到结果是81。那我们这道题这个大正方体的体积就是81，因为这每一个正方体它的边长、它的棱长都是1啊。Because for each of them the edge length is 1. 如果它的棱长不是1，那我们可能考虑的还要多一些。So that is what we have. So let's continue for next one. The following questions are just a group of set. 我们下面这些题目其实是一组的。It's guiding us to know if we're going to cut. If we're going to cut the solid figure. We cut the solid figure via We cut the solid figure via plan. 我们沿着一个平面把这一个立方体切成2半。But may I know, has the surface area changed? 如果我们不考虑切口那部分的面积，我们外面的面积有变吗？ It will not. Even though we just split up for this part 1, part 2. Just with this cut, we cut into 2 pieces. 我们即便这样一切开，我们上下分开之后，但是没关系啊，这2个加在一起，它的面积和原本的面积是一样的。So if we find that, if we just cut it horizontally, 我们随便横切一刀 or even we cut it vertically, we will just have 2 faces, 2 actual faces. 我们只会多出来2个面。If we draw a graph, it will look like this. It will look like this. You will find, okay, for this face, the bottom face of the upper one and the top face of the lower one, 我们上面这一个长方体它的底部，还有下面一个长方体它的顶部，这2个面原本是在哪儿？原本是隐藏在图形当中的，但是我们这一刀下去，我们就把它暴露出来了。In the beginning, these 2 faces were hidden in the figure, but we cut it. We just release it. So the surface area will just increase by these 2 actual faces. What is the original surface area? We just have the edge length of 8. So it becomes 8 times 8. It is for 1 face. And we have 6 faces in total. And then we just got 2 actual faces, which is 8 times 8 times 2. And we just pick the 8 times 8 out. 我们把8乘8提出来。8乘8再乘以我们的6加2。It just becomes 8 times 8 times 8. So we just got an answer. We just got an answer of 512. So the answer here is a B. For this one, it just provides information. If we cut something, it will help us find some actual faces within the solid figure. 我们这一刀切就容易把原本隐藏在图形当中的面给暴露出来，但对它的原本的面没有影响。It will not change the surface area for the outer part. 它对我们原本的面，尽管我们把它分成2部分，但加在一起还是没有变化的。And then that's for next one. And now, it tells us we just cut it vertically for how many times? 我们竖着切了几次 Here is a one time, here is second time. And for each time, it will create how many actual faces? 我们每切一刀会多几个面出来 We cut it here, left side one, right side one. 左边一个，右边一个，所以我们切一刀多两面，我们切两刀就多了4面。And then we have another third one here. Third one is also just vertically. It will also add two actual faces. 我们又加了2个面。那横着呢 Vertically, we only did it one time, so it becomes an upper face and lower face. So here, this will also add 2 faces. In total, we just add for 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. There are 8 faces in total. And now, each face, what is the shape of each face? The shape here is still a square. So the area it just becomes 6 times 6 and multiply by 8. And the answer is 288 square centimeters. 对于我们这道题，其实我们不需要去管每个面是多少，我们只用看这一刀切下来多了几个完整的正方形。我们不用管啊，左上角这一个它多了几个面，右下角这个多了几个面，我们只用看，按照整体来看，一刀就只看一个位置，就只看一刀对它的影响。And then for the next question, it's just as similar as previous one. The next one tells us, okay, it provides us a wooden cuboid, and the length, width, and height is 8, 6, and 3 centimeters, respectively. And they want to cut the wood into a 4 small wooden cuboid, just as shown below. And he wants to paint all the surface of the wooden cuboid right. What the area that needed to paint it is. It's just asking us, after the cutting, what will be the sum of surface area? 这题目问的啥呢？意思就是翻译一下，我们就是在问，把这个图形切2刀分成4块之后，我们现在的表面积是多少？ We find out if we cut it here, we'll have 2 actual faces. One is like this, another one just like this. There are 2 faces here. What is the area of this face? This area will just become the height times the width. 我们就用宽乘高。And we just got it will become 6 times 3 and times 2. This is the actual part 1. 这是我们多出来的第一个部分。And then here, what about we just do it horizontally? 我们横着切的这一刀会怎样？我们横着切的这一刀，其实它就是创建了我们2个和顶面一样的，也就是8乘6乘2 extra part 2. And we just add them together, but don't forget to add the original surface area of this cuboid. 但是我们把这些加起来之后，不要忘了把原本长方体它的表面积也加上，这也是我们需要染色的呀。So we just got 8 times 6 plus 8 times 3 plus 6 times 3. And don't forget to multiply by 2. And for everything, we just add them together. We will just got an answer of 312. 312. We just add everything together. 6 times 3 times 2 plus 8 times 6 plus, times 2 plus 8 times 6 plus 8 times 3 plus 6 times 3 times 2 equals 312. Don't forget to write down the units. Here is a square centimeters. The answer we put here 312. And for this one, it is a very important cut. It represents the influence of cutting in the surface area of the solid figure. 它给我们展现了在立体图形当中，我们切一刀下去，原本的面不会减少。即便你把它分成两部分、3部分，但原本的表面积之和是不会变的。但关键在于它会创造新的面出来。那我们只需要在原本的基础上把新的面积算出来就可以。Okay, let's move on. So now, for this one, we just need to count how many times we have already cut, and we just add the original surface area and all the extra part. Here's part 1. Here we just check how many times we have cut it. 1, 2, 3. 我们就检查一下一共切了多少刀嘛，因为我们知道按照这种横平竖直的切法，我们竖着切、横着切一定能会多出来2个正方形的面。So here we just check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here, in the beginning, we still use 1 times 1 times 6. This is the original figure. 我们原本正方体的表面积是1乘1乘6，我们切了之后这些面还在，对吧？ And then we just have 1 times 1, which is area of each face, and multiply by 2 because for each cut we have 2 faces. 我们这里乘以2是因为我们每切一刀会有2个面出来，那我们再乘以还有多少刀？1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9乘以9。So we just got answer is 6 plus 18, and answer is 24. That will be the sum of surface area. 我们哪怕分出这么多长方体，它也顶多是把一个外面完整的面加上中间每一道多出来的面分割出来的。Okay, and let's see the next one. Next one will have a new kind, but this one is quite similar to the previous one. We don't cut, we just combine 2 figures together. 我们在这里，它和前面的那个题其实非常相像。我们在这不再给它们去切割了，但是我们想让它组合在一起，想要组合，使得表面积最小。Now we want to make sure the minimum surface of area of the new figure. We want to get a minimum surface area. 我们想要表面积最小，那意思是什么？重合的面尽可能多。There we want more and more faces connecting together. With more and more faces, in which situation we can get it? 在什么情况下我们才能够让接触面更尽可能多？ We will just got a situation that all the 3 cubes, each of them will connect with both other figures. 我们任意一个正方体都要同时和其他的正方体有连接。So the graph, if I just draw it, it looks like this. Here is a cube with edge length of 4. And we just put the cube with edge length of 3 above it. And the cube with edge length of 1, we just put it here. And so that with this situation, all the 3 faces, with this situation, each figure, it just has connected with other with other two figures. 我们每一个正方体都能和其他的连接在一起。So we just check how to calculate the surface area. 我们现在就要看怎么去算这个表面积了。Now if we just focus on the figure, focus on the cube with age length of 4. 我们现在专注于这个棱长为4的正方体。这棱长为4的正方体 this surface area has decreased by this face and this face. 我们棱长为4的正方体，它在原本的基础上少了这个面。But we can find two equal faces which can fix it, which is this part and this part. 我们的棱长为4的正方体虽然小了下面两个重合的面，但是这两个面在那两个小正方体当中都能够找到一模一样大小。So we can just find a complete 6 times 4 times 4. 我们通过这种方式把上面的面移下来，可以得到得到一个完整的棱长为4的正方体的表面积。And then we just find out this face here. Oh, I just changed the color. 我换个颜色。Let's find this face here. This face also makes the surface area decrease by the 1 times 1. 我们这个面棱长为1和棱长为3的这两个正方体连接在一起，也会导致一个面损失。But this face is same as this one. 那我们会发现我们中间这个面，它和最右边这个面是一样。So we just push the face on the right to the left side. 我们把右边这个面往左边一推。Did you just find out for the blue cube? For the cube with the age length of 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 complete faces. 我们把这右边的面往左边一推，能够补完一个棱长为3的正方体的侧面。So it just becomes 3 times 3 times 4. And for the cube with age length of 1, what has left here? We only have a face in the front and face in the back. So we just got 1 times 1 times 2. And for this one here, we just got a 6 times 16, which is 96, plus 36, plus 2. And add them together, it becomes 134. And that is the answer. 我们在这儿 我们可以用平移的方式帮助我们去得到结果。We can just translate the faces to fix a complete face. 我们可以把一些面平移到一起，从而获得一个完整的大一些的面。It will be convenient for us to do the calculation. So this one is a quite good question, and I hope you can just think of it. If you cannot get it, maybe you can just try to find 3 boxes in your home with a different size, put them together and check when you can get a smaller one. And let's continue. And now this is the last question. For last question, actually we talked about a little bit. It's talking about if we're going to remove a small cube from a large cube, what will happen? This also talk about the transportation. 我们这道题其实课上咱们提到过一点啊，从一个立体图形当中去挖一个正方体，我们一般会得到什么呢？ If we just do it on the vertex, 我们在顶点处去挖。Did you find out for this face, we move to the right side? And for the face in the back, we move it to the front. And for the face in the bottom, we move it upward. 我们在顶点处挖去一个正方体，得到3个面，通过平移，左边的移到右边，下面的移到上边，后面的移到前面。We can just fix this figure. 我们就可以把这个角给补完整了。它对我们的表面积有影响吗？ Will it change the surface area if we're going to remove a cube from the vertex? Of course not. So here the first thing is just remove cube from vertex. No change in the surface area. 表面积不会改变。And then, if we just try to remove on the edge, the second situation is remove on the edge. Remove from the edge. 我们从棱上挖去一个。我们如果从棱上挖去一个正方体 ，and we still using the translation for the face in the back, we move it to the front. 我们把底面的这一个移到正面来 ，and for the face in the bottom, we move it upward. 我们把底面的移上来。So here, for this figure, the figure like this. For the figure here, we have just four actual faces. 我们在棱上挖去一个正方体，我们会有4个不同的面。It's a face 1, face 2, face 3, face 4. 2 and 4, we just move it. And for the 1 and 3, just stay here. 我们2和4可以通过平移补完这个正方体，但是1和3呢？1和3它是我们多出来的面 ，so we just got 2 actual faces. We just got 2 actual faces. And for the last one, if we just remove from the face, 我们如果从一个正方体的中间一个面的正中间去挖一个出来，怎么办呢？The only face we can translate is just a face in the back. 我们只能把最后面这个面移出来，把它补到前面来。And then what will happen? We will got 4 actual faces. 4 actual faces. And now, it's telling us, after we just removed a small cube from the corner, from the edge, from the faces, the surface area becomes 2,454. But do we know the surface area in the beginning? Yeah, we do know it. We have the 20 times the 20 times the 6, which is 2,400. But with the 3 faces, with the 3 cube removed, we got an increase of 54 square centimeter. 我们移走这个3个正方体之后，我们反而多了54平方厘米的表面积。And we find this 54 comes from what? 这54来自于哪儿呢？来自于我们从棱长那里移走一个正方体得到的2个额外的面，来自于我们从面上移走一个正方体得来的4个额外的面。The 54 just comes from the 2 actual faces when we just remove a cube from the edge, and 4 actual faces when we remove the cube from the face. So this 54 square centimeter, it belongs to 6 same faces, and so for each faces become 9 square centimeter. So for a small cube, the area of each face is 9, so the side lengths become 3 centimeters. That is how we got it. 这也就是我们这堂课我们所有拓展题的解析。希望大家能够多思考，包括多去锻炼我们用平移去填补的方法。这章内容其实非常简单，但是如何去巧用我们所学的知识就是很重要的事情。So that is everything for for the lesson 1. If you still have questions, please contact me and private message me. And for this weekend, we're going to have a look at the next chapter. Please still try to complete the preview part. 别忘了在我们这周上课之前，依然记得把我们 preview 部分给做掉。我也会提前把我们的一些词汇还有我们的一些关键内容给大家做总结。那我们就下次见，see you next time，拜拜。